So, Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki, still plays Loki, was one of the biggest talking points in Avengers Endgame, because no one knew what they were going to do when he disappeared in Endgame, when they time traveled back in time, and he just zooted away with a Tesseract. So, we knew he's got his TV show coming up, and we've just recently at San Diego Comic-Con a few weeks ago had information about when that TV series will be dropping. Until now, we've not really known many details, but there are details coming out with websites claiming it's exclusive, claiming it's legit information, so we've got to talk about it like it's factual, but please take it with a pinch of salt, as we say in England, or as you Americans say, take it with a grain of salt. So, what is good, YouTube? Warstu here. Now, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. There's a lot of stuff coming up in the next couple of weeks and month. We've got the Joaquin Phoenix movie coming out. We've got Disney 23, where they could reveal some information, and we've got The Witcher. We've got so many cool TV series and movies coming out, and then next year then we get into the Black Widow movie, which is going to be insane, and it's Eternals, and then it's all the other kind of stuff. So we are giving away Endgame on Blu-ray or 4K or DVD or digital download. All you got to do is subscribe to this very channel and let me know down below why should you win. So, we know Tom Hiddleston will be featuring in the Loki TV show. We now know he will physically be in it, because initially the reports coming out was he was going to be narrating the TV show, and that annoyed a lot of Loki fans, because if he was just going to be narrating it, then a lot of people wouldn't have bought into it. So I think a lot of people will buy into this subscription service that Disney is going to be bringing out, mainly due to the Loki show. So we have details coming from multiple websites which are kind of reliable, but still, guys, until Kevin Feige comes out and says it with his own mouth and says, yes, this is this. So we know the Loki show is coming out spring 2021. Which, yeah, it's still a while away, but, you know, it's getting closer. And then we know that we will be getting Thor Love and Thunder as well in November. So that's pretty cool. So the latest rumors are saying, so careful for spoilers if you don't want me to ruin your life. So it appears that Loki is going to appear in the main MCU Canon timeline, just in time for Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, guys, do you like the title? I really think it could have been a better title, but it does make sense if Jane Foster is going to come back and be Mighty Thor. It does make sense. So, what's going to happen is, essentially, Loki is going to travel around the universe, around the multiverse. Remember, the time travel logic in the MCU makes no sense, because even if you change historical events in the past, it does not change the future. It's not like the Flash TV show where if you save Barry Allen's mother and she's alive in the future, it changes a lot of things. You can change things in the past in the MCU, but it has no correlation to change in the future, which it is a really weird kind of thing. It doesn't really make any sense if you compare it to any other kind of time travel show. So there was information coming out last week from a said report saying this: Loki's timeline meddling were true, but also added that the Space Stone will be used to help him time travel to different times where he will change historical events. This lines up with a new production logline provided by Fandom Wire, but like I say with any source, take it with a pinch of salt, take it with a grain of salt, whether it comes from a website, an insider, Reddit. To be honest, guys, Reddit is probably more reliable than most of these insiders, but like I say, guys, take it with a grain of salt. But this potential spoiler is freaking huge if it is huge. So it says, a close source to Fandom Wire has stated that Loki will end with the God of Mischief using the Tesseract to hop through the multiverse, returning in the main MCU timeline dimension just in time for Thor Love and Thunder, which is cool. Really cool. So Loki will be in Thor 4, which is cool. The Hybrid Network also had the exclusive that Korg, who interesting enough is Taika Waititi, who is the director, apparently is getting a bigger role in this movie. It also went on to say, at San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios announced that Natalie Portman, Jane Foster, will be returning to the MCU, this time as the Goddess of Thunder. She took to the stage as director Taika Waititi gifted her with Thor's hammer. Many have wondered how exactly Mjolnir will come back after being destroyed by Hela in Thor Ragnarok, or Thor 3, pretty cool movie. But much like how Mjolnir made a comeback in Avengers Endgame via the time-traveling route, the hammer will be returning to our main timeline along with Loki in the end of the Disney Plus show. Now, what is interesting is, does this mean there's only going to be one season if he's going to return to the main MCU timeline? Is the Tom Hiddleston Loki show a one-hit wonder, a one-season wonder? Many like me were under the prerequisite and the precondition that it was going to have multiple seasons because, let's be honest, Tom Hiddleston is a very popular person. I mean, his tour in UK, The Betrayal, the kind of title sounds for itself, was sold out solidly for 12 weeks in a row. So he is a very popular person. So people would love the Loki show to keep coming and coming. But would people, let me know down below, guys, would you prefer Loki in the MCU movie world or the TV world? Now, the way it's setting up, it's almost like he could actually be in both at the same time. And then this report went to say that this was set up for how Jane Foster becomes Mighty Thor and Will Milner. In Thor, Love and Thunder, it is still unclear what time or exactly how Loki will steal Milner from. Could the events of Loki deem him worthy of lifting the hammer? It's too early to tell, but this is for sure a negative ramification. So, the hammer that will be coming back into play in Thor 4 will still have Odin's enchantment on it in theory. We know in the comics that Loki has been able to handle this. But they will have to explain this because you've got to remember, this is not the Loki version that sacrificed himself. This is the Loki version from the T'Chari attack, the New York events, that was trying to basically take down the Avengers and work indirectly with Thanos. So, according to the actor himself, Tom Hiddleston, Loki will start filming early 2020 and is slated for spring 2021. Taika Waititi has finished the script for Thor, Love and Thunder, and the movie is set for the 5th of November 2021. It seems, though, the Disney and Marvel Studios are solitude the Disney Plus show in the continuity of the MCU. Yes, Kevin Feige's already made it vocal that whatever happens in the MCU, whether it be the Disney streaming service or the MCU, are both canon to each other. So there is only one multiverse. There is only one timeline. I hate it when you have a TV universe and a kind of TV movie world universe. Just look at the DC TV and then look at the DCEU. They should be one timeline, but they're different universes, which doesn't really work, which is pretty cool. And also, they're kind of doing the same thing with the WandaVision TV show and Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness, which sounds cool. It seems like them two kind of movie and TV show are going to be canon to each other. They're going to be very important. So, Loki set up a key plot for the hammer returning to the main MCU. It's worth noting that this was written by someone called Sean Steele. Pretty cool article. So, Loki is returning to the MCU, which is freaking fantastic because everyone was like, yo, how can they have a movie? How can they have a Thor movie without chucking Loki in it? But it's going to be very different for Loki and Thor. Why? Because this is the Loki that was kind of the god of mischief. This is the Loki that was causing terrible things to happen. This is the Loki that wouldn't sacrifice himself for his brother. This is the Loki that was on the quest to kind of help Thanos with the Infinity Stones. So it's going to be very, very different. And it will give Tom Hiddleston the same chance to play the character again, but a different variation of the character, but at the same time a similar variation of the character that he's played before. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing how this plays out, how it will in fact set up everything, how they both are canon to each other, and how it's going to adapt to the future of the MCU. Because if the rumors and said reports are true that they are building up to Secret Wars for phase 4, 5, and 6, and if Galactus and everything's coming true, do you not think having Loki on your side would be very, very important when Battle World comes? Or would Loki be on the villain side, or would he be on the hero side? So it is very interesting. We are very much looking forward to it. So guys, let me know down below which variation of Loki is coming. Do you think this is how they're going to bring the original hammer back? Are you happy that Jane Foster is going to be the Mighty Thor? Or do you think it's a massive marketing ploy like I do? Because I honestly can't see Chris Hemsworth giving up the Thor role, giving up being the main Thor. You could say that Thor is going to become Odin, and essentially Jane Foster will be part of A-Force, part of the female Avengers, part of the new Avengers, because we do know when the new Avengers come around, it's going to be a much very different team. But Chris Hemsworth recently re-signed a contract. He's only in the $15 to $20 million bracket, so that is not that expensive if you're comparing to someone like Robert Downey Jr. So do you guys want Thor to take over as Odin and be the wise one, or do you want Jane Foster just to have a minor cameo role, which I really do believe that her role is being blown out of proportion massively, because you got to think about it. She didn't want anything to do with the MCU for years. Then all of a sudden, every movie in the MCU hits close to $1 billion, and all of a sudden, she's on the main stage of San Diego Comic-Con, which is very weird because we've not actually seen her since Dark World. Yes, of course, guys, we did see her in Endgame, but they weren't new scenes. They were just rehashed scenes that the VFX and special effects teams made so perfectly to make it look like they were new scenes, but they were just rehashed scenes. So she's not really been in the MCU since Dark World, really. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and let me know what you think down below. And if we ever hit 100,000 subscribers, I will be giving away a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X, and also giving away an exclusive you cannot buy gift. So guys, make sure to subscribe to help that dream happen. I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.